Tell me a story from Owsley County, something that happened long ago. Take me down to the banks of the river, sing me a song about home.
going crazy. Grandpa, take me back to yesterday, when the line between right and wrong didn't seem so hazy. Did lovers really fall in love to stay and stand beside each other come what may? Was a promise really something people kept, not just something they would say then forget? Did families really bow their heads to pray? Did daddies really never go away? Oh, Grandma, tell me about the good old days. Grandpa, everything is changing fast. They call it progress, but I just don't know. Grandpa, let's wander back into the past and paint me a picture of long ago. Did lovers really fall in love to stay and stand beside each other come what may? Was a promise really something people kept, not just something they would say and then forget? Did families really bow their heads to pray? Did daddies really never go away? Oh, Grandma, tell me about the good old days. Oh, Grandma, tell me about the good old days.
I believe my steps are growing wearier each day. Still I've got a journey on my mind. The wars of this old world have ceased to make me want to stay. My one regret is leaving you behind. If it proves to be His will that I am first to go, and somehow I've a feeling it will be, when it comes your time to travel, likewise don't you feel lost, for I will be the first one that you see. I'll be waiting on the far side bank of Jordan. I'll be waiting, drawing pictures in the sand. And when I see you coming, I will rise up with a shout and come running through the shallow waters, reaching for your hand. Through this life we labored hard to earn our meager fare. It's brought us trembling hand and fading eye. I'll just rest here on the for your hand, and come running through the shallow waters, reaching for your hand.
Way back in my memory, there's a scene that I recall of a little rundown cabin in the woods, where my daddy never promised that our blue moon would turn gold, but he laid awake nights wishing that he would. When the world was on our radio, hard work was on our mind. We lived our day to day in plain dirt fashion, with old overalls and cotton balls all strapped across your back. Made it hard to make believe ain't nothing wrong. But Mama kept the Bible read and Daddy kept our family fed, and somewhere in between I must have grown. Well, someday I was dreaming that a song that I was singing takes me down the road to where I want to go. Now I know it's a long, hard road. Sometimes I remember when I'd stay up late at night. When sunup came, we got up and went. In the shadows of a working day, our moonlight hours spent, singing songs along with Grandma's radio. Now I'm beating down an old blacktop road, sleeping in a sack, living in my memories all in vain. But those city lights ain't all that bright compared to what it's like to see the lightning bugs go dancing in the rain. But Mama played the guitar then, and Daddy played the song played thin, and raindrops played the tin roof like a drum. And I just kept on dreaming that a song that I was singing takes me down the road to where I want to go. Now I'm gone. It's a long, hard road. Yes, I know. It's a long, hard road.
The sun shines bright on my old Kentucky home. 'Tis summer, the people are gay. The corn tops ripe and the meadow in the bloom, while the birds make music all the day. The young folks row on the little cabin floor, all merry and happy and gay. By hard times come a-knocking at my door, then my old Kentucky home, good night. Weep no more, my lady, oh, weep no more today. We will sing one song for my old Kentucky home, for that old Kentucky home far away.
In the deep dark
to Grandma, we never left high and loud. Where the sun comes up about 10 in the morning, the sun goes down about 3 in the day, and fill your cup with whatever bitter brew you're drinking. Now you go from the bottom of your crack. Never leave high and loud.
100-year-old photograph stares out from a frame, and if you look real close, you'll see her eyes are just the same. Never met them face to face, but I still know them well from the stories my dear grandma would tell. Tucker was a farmer, he knew how to make things grow. And Katie vowed she'd follow him wherever he would go. As things turned out, they never left their small Kentucky home, but he kept her there, and she kept him warm. I'll get it tomorrow night. Sometimes when I'm tired, I feel Tucker take my arm. He says, keep on working hard, girl, it never did a body harm. When I'm really troubled and I don't know what to do, just do your best. We're all so proud of you.
ago, that was the same voice coming out of that mouth. I don't know how she does it. I think she keeps getting stronger. So we are proud of those people who call Owsley home, and the fact that they were willing to share their talent. Aren't they talented? And all those singers. I don't know if you can see them or not, but I can feel their presence. I've already given Mr. Mayor Long a hug, and he was on television. Did y'all miss him? He was on television this week. So let's give Mayor Long a hand. I think he holds the distinction of being the longest running mayor in the United States. So we have a celebrity here, and they told me Ann was here. I can feel her. Right there she is. And I wanted to make sure that I got to say thanks to Ann. I was a privileged one here at the high school, and Ann came in as an artist in residence, and my class got to have her. And there was another class that also got to participate. And she taught the children, she instilled in them, first of all, the value of family and heritage. And then she sent them out with their pens and papers and their tape recorders. And she said, you bring back the stories. And they did. And then she and Bob held story circles, and more stories started to evolve. What you see on this stage this evening, is those stories from the story circle, those interviews from the students, made into a script by Miss Magic Ann and Bob. And so you'll get to see that. So we wanted to say how proud we are to be a part of something so big. And you all are a special audience because someone in the cast and the crew think you're special, and Bob said, you invite those people who you want to invite. George, just come. So you are a special audience. All audiences will be special. You're very, very special. The most special. Yes, you are. And after Ann and Bob got that script ready, they called for auditions. People came. Some ran away. Some started and dropped by the wayside. And those of us who stayed, I think we signed it into blood somewhere that we would give our entire lives to this project. Tonight someone said, I had no clue I was dedicating myself to something for so long. But it does take a while to make something turn into a specialness. And if you got to view the first home song, you left here with a sense of pride to call these beautiful mountains home. And that's what you're going to leave with tonight as well, because we touched base with that several times, many times. But also you're going to leave with a challenge. And that challenge is one that I know that this community can stand up to, because community is people that love each other and treat each other like family, and that's how we feel. So there's a big hug to all of you guys, and how we feel so connected in our joys, in our sorrows, in our accomplishments. Whatever we face, we have a family to share that with. So family, you will leave tonight with more proudness in your heart and more need to make that family bigger and more caring. And Glenn, I think I've said all I need to say except orders. The kids say I'm good at this. No flash photos, phones on silence, emergency exits on either side, and I think this one goes to you. That's Bob's. Okay.
Okay.
You got it.
Okay. Welcome.
Again.
Again. I can't follow Miss Campbell because she's too awesome.
No, I'm not.
But I would like to thank every group that has been a part of our new HomeSong II, Meet You in the Middle. All the way from Owsley County Action Team and Molly Turner, Owsley County Arts Council, Owsley County Drug Awareness Council, and we have Promise Neighborhood people are here tonight. Hi, Natalie. And also the Owsley County Schools, Owsley County Public Library. We could not have done this without all their help and support. And we've got a lot of people that are listed in your program. If you see them out somewhere, please thank them, because we could not have put on a program to this extent without all people that are helping. And if you would like to get involved, here's how you do it. Here's how you do it. You need to get a hold of Molly Turner at the Owsley County Action Team, and their number is 593-7296. We want as many people involved as possible. She already told you about cell phones, and I heard one a little bit right when she was talking, before you said it. So I won't hear it again, right? But I would like to thank everyone for being here tonight. I think you're in for a very good treat. Thank the band for being here and all the performers. They did a fantastic job. Without further ado, well, we have one more announcement. You have an insert about something that we're trying to start back in Owsley County, which is the new theater. So please look at that insert. If you want to fill it out, you can fill it out and leave it with us tonight. Or you can give it to Sue Christian or myself. But we're wanting to get the theater started back. So this is a new project. We want more arts in the community. Without further ado, HomeSong II, Meet You in the Middle.
Tell me a story from Owsley County, something that happened long ago. Take me down to the banks of the river, sing me a song about home. Let's tell our stories, let's sing our songs, let's grow our own gardens, let's grow our own jobs, let's take our own pictures, let's make our own songs, let's swim in the river, let's look up at the stars. Tell me a story from Owsley County, something that happened long ago. Take me down to the banks of the river, sing me a song about home.
Where are you from? I'm from Boonville, Kentucky, where Daniel Boone hunted, fished, and camped.
I'm from Baldhead Hall, Bear Run,
Bee Branch, Buck Creek,
I'm from a big log house in the holler. I grew up in a box house in Lower Buffalo.
I'm from a trailer,
a cabin,
an apartment, a brick ranch house.
The house that my grandpa lived in.
I'm from right on the Owsley Perry line.
I'm from Chestnut Gap.
I'm from Couchtown. Good old country cooking, and I've been on Cow Creek most of my life.
I'm from Elkcliff.
Round range.
I bought our farm on Fish Creek and we moved Thanksgiving Day.
Groundhog Holler.
We lived on Indian Creek.
You can see the South Fork from my back porch.
I am proud to call Owsley County my home.
Let's make our own movies. Let's make our own plans. Let's help one another. Here, take my hand. Let's take care of these forests, these hillsides and streams. Take care of these children. Let's tell them our dreams.
I'm from Wheat Rose. I'm from Rocky Fork.
Mistletoe.
Mud Lick.
Need more.
I was born in Owsley. We moved away, and then we moved back.
Pig Pen Branch.
Pleasant.
Polecat Holler.
From the pioneers who come into these hills and valleys to make a new life.
I'm from people who can live on a rocky patch of mountain soil, feed themselves and their family with nothing more but a hoe, a little hard work, and lots of hope.
I'm from Rattlesnake Creek.
Schoolhouse Branch. Sugar Camp. Sturgeon.
Scoville.
Stay.
I'm from all the stories that fly around in this place like lightning bugs on a July night.
I'm from Tony
Wild Dog Creek.
I'm from out near Hoopalera.
I'm an Owsley County native and I always will be.
This is where I call home, and this is where I'll end my life.
Tell me a story from Owsley County, something that happened long ago. Take me down to the banks of the river, sing me a song about home. Take me down to the banks of the river, sing me a song about home. I'm from Owsley County, Kentucky,
One of the prettiest,
One of the poorest.
and one of the proudest places in all the United States.
And one of the most interesting.
So, like I said, I've got this stupid project I've got to do for school. I have to like interview somebody. This lady came to school and said they was putting on a play about Owsley County or something. I don't know. I have this list of questions I'm supposed to ask.
Well, just go ahead and ask me a question. I've not got all day.
What was life like for you growing up in Owsley County?
Well, life was simpler, people were nicer, and things didn't cost so much.
Do you like Owsley County?
Yes, sir, I wouldn't be here.
What was your school like?
Well, I started out at the Leroy School, and then I went to the Owsley County High School. The school didn't have no electricity, no running water then. Another guy and I, we would draw 4 tubs of water for the cooks and that fire dinner for lunch or whatever. Then we would help with the fire during the colder winter months. We walked 2 miles there and 2 miles back. And my favorite subject was math.
Wow, that's my favorite subject. I love math. People think I'm crazy, but I do. I love math. I was wondering where I got that from.
Off the old block.
I went to a one-room schoolhouse on Cow Creek.
I didn't graduate, but I really wish I would have though.
I lived up on Stay, and on Stay there's only one school. It had 1 room in it, 1 teacher for 8 grades. And we had to walk to school over a mile every day we had school. We'd walk if it was raining, we'd walk if it's snowing, we had to walk.
They didn't call school off for any reason, and there wasn't no such thing as school bus.
There wasn't no such thing as a cafeteria back then either. We took our own lunch buckets. Sometimes we'd have biscuits and fried chicken.
How about cornbread and ham meat?
Oh, homemade cake and fried apples.
And then one day, some missionaries came and taught us how to eat bologna sandwiches.
Later, we got a school bus, and so my brothers and I and sisters, we'd all start walking. And that winter, we had a lot of cold weather. But we'd walk to the bus with the little house that they did. So we wore our old shoes. And when we'd get there, we'd change out and put our school shoes on. And then we'd get on the bus because we only got 1 pair of shoes a year.
And when you grew out of them, you would pass them on down to somebody else.
Oh, yes. Mama made our dresses out of flour sacks, but she could make them beautiful. But we didn't change clothes every day back then. We wore our clothes for a week. Say I had a pink dress, I would wear it one week, my sister would wear it the next, and I'd wear her dress from the week before.
The times were hard, but we got through it though.
You know, I was the 8th of 14 children.
Oh.
Daddy was always on the lookout for work. We'd move here and there, back and forth. But I always considered Owsley my home. I will always be a Kentucky girl.
Well, I was one of 22 children.
Whoa.
Oh.
Some have gone on to heaven, some to Ohio, Tennessee, Illinois, Florida, one's in California. All scattered now, here, there, and yonder.
Kentucky, you are the dearest land outside of heaven to me. Kentucky, I miss your laurel and your redbud tree. When I want to rest upon some peaceful mountain so high, for that is where God will look for me.
When I was in 2nd grade, my mom decided she didn't want to live in Owsley anymore because she was mad at my dad. So she took me and my little brother and moved us in with her sister who lived just outside of Dayton, Ohio. At first it was great and exciting. We got to go out to eat all the time. We got to go to the mall. But then the money ran out. It wasn't much fun after that. She had to get a job working at a fast food place. And I felt sorry for her because she had to wear this fast food uniform. She just didn't look right in it. She didn't look pretty like she did in her normal clothes, you know, with her hair down. I had to sleep in the same bed with my cousins, and it was crowded. Plus, my aunt had this real small yard, and there was no place to play. One day after school, I was sitting on the curb, and I got to thinking about my mama back in Owsley, and how I'd like to go there and get some of her chicken and dumplings, play with her old dog. Mom come home about that time, seen me sitting there. She sat down beside me, still in that uniform. She said, "Sissy, let's go home." So she went in the house and called my daddy. He came and got us, and we went home the next day.
I miss your old folks singing in the silver moonlight. Kentucky, I miss the hound dog chasing. I know that my mother, dad, and sweetheart all are waiting for me. Kentucky, I will be coming soon. Kentucky, I will be coming soon.
What's going on, Zoe? Did you start a fight with Chris?
I didn't start a fight. I studied hard for that test, and it's not fair for him to get a good grade on it when he didn't deserve it.
Well, that's not what Chris says. Chris says he was just playing around with his friends after he finished his test.
I saw him ask his buddy for the answers.
I find that hard to believe. Zoe. Chris knows the risk of getting into trouble just as he's about to go off to college. Maybe you didn't see what you thought you saw.
I'm pretty sure I saw what I saw. You know, other kids are just as good as him, even if they're not a star athlete. Or maybe they don't have it so good at home.
Zoe, I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this. And all I have is your word against his.
Just like always. He could get pulled over for a DUI and nothing would happen because he's a star and everybody knows it.
I've never heard of any such thing before. And maybe you ought to be careful about making accusations against people. You need to worry about you and not worry about Chris or anybody else for that matter. You have your own challenges and your own struggles and a long way to go if you're planning to get yourself into college.
Can I just go now?
Yes.
What kind of nut house have we got here?
Well, it's a musical nut farm if you ask me.
Well, how about getting some bluegrass playing? What do you think, Zoe?
What's the matter, Papa? Don't you like bluegrass music? Drew? Drew, will you say something to your mother? She has been out on her own world today, bad.
Mother? Mother? Mother, can you hear me? Mother, do you know who I am?
Don't you know who you are? You're Drew, and I'm right here. Don't holler at me like I'm up in the pasture.
I just love you, Granny. Oh, Mama, what did you get at the store? Well, I just got the usual. I got milk and bread and toilet paper and pinto. I'm feeling some hummus and pita bread.
I'm feeling like a medium rare steak and a baked potato the size of a football. Hey Zoe, what do you feel like?
Shut up. If I could just get up in those hills and pick me some of those good wild greens, I believe I'd get all right again. That's the best eating there is. In the springtime of the year when you ain't had nothing fresh all winter, seems like it just does something good for you. Greens right out of the ground. Mama took them down, fixed a big pan of cornbread. I can just about taste them.
Hey Zoe, what's she talking about?
Something green. I don't know.
What's your problem?
She's 15. She's an angry emo. That's what her problem is. What's the matter with you? Okay, now wait a minute. I heard from Melody today, and she said that she was doing really good in her rehab. And her counselor also said that if she continues to keep doing good, that she'll get to come home by the end of summer. Sophie, stop that lollygagging around and get those greens in here.
Yes, Mother.
Mama? They look pretty good, but I don't think they'll be enough for supper. Daddy?
Lord, Mag, the young'uns picked a wash tub full. That ought to be enough.
By the time I boil these down, they won't be enough to fill a holler too.
Sister, what will I do? Kill myself in
places back when you were growing up?
Well, now, if they did, I didn't know nothing about it.
Well, so how did you get your food?
Well, we grew our food, honey.
Did you have any pets?
Well, now, we did live on a farm. We had chickens and cows and pigs, but really the only one I guess you'd call a pet was an old coon dog named Mickey. He was brought in here from out of Texas.
How do you think Owsley County has changed?
Well, people used to be a lot friendlier. You never did meet a stranger. They always was willing to help you out, help you chop your firewood, help kill your hogs, or we'd even share food. And anytime you went in a store, you always got a big friendly hello. Not one of these little sour tail toes.
What do you like about Owsley?
Small community, that's what I like.
What do you not like about Owsley?
Let's see, what would the word be? The system. It's not always right.
What do you mean by that?
Well, there's a few people got their picks because they got more than you do, and they're kind of judgmental on us poor, and most of us around here is poor. And that's the truth. And the truth is the truth. Amen, brother.
Come on in, guys. Come on.
Yo.
Where's the food?
No food.
You have Wi-Fi? I'm not telling you no Wi-Fi. That's
Got your way. What are you gonna do?
You come over here. Do you have any ideas? What about a Ouija board? I did that once and we caught the spirits from beyond.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did. We called it Tell Sam.
For one, sorry to burst your bubble or anything. For one, I did that. Two, it was boring. Three, I wanted to go to fun club. And four, my dog's name is Sam. So that's what I went with. Short and sweet.
We don't have a Ouija board anyway, sorry. We can summon Slender Man. Yeah.
No such thing.
What? What are you talking about? We could go in the bathroom and turn out the lights.
Bet you heard that from her.
Yeah, so what?
I only told her that so she'd go to the bathroom. And I didn't think it would scare you so much. We'd have to have the lights on the rest of the time we was at your house. I know I am.
No Slender Man? Well, that's a bummer. Well, we could play Truth or Dare. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Truth or dare?
Dare. Bring it.
I dare you to kiss Zoe. Don't even think about it. Okay, I dare you to go knock on Zoe's sister's door and ask her out on a date. Go for it. But she's with her boyfriend. Are you chicken?
No, no way.
No way, but April might.
I was never gone. I was always here.
Tell your stupid boyfriend to stay out of my room before I shove his head so far down the toilet that he's going to see the ocean.
He's not my boyfriend.
Well, tell your friends that maybe they should be a little more respectful in somebody else's house.
Hey, April, we really need to be getting to Richmond if we're going to catch the movie on time. You kids have fun.
Or not.
I think everything went well.
Or at least I'm not dead.
No, you mean at least I'm not in.
Well, we're ready to get going too. We're going to the park.
We are?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we are.
Can I come?
Dude!
Yeah.
Fine, have it your way. Let the third wheel come along. I don't care.
I will.
Hey, sorry you made your sister mad with you. You saw her?
Have it your way.
No, that's okay. I think I'm just going to stay here.
Okay.
Forget it.
What a mess. These children just do not clean up after themselves anymore. Picture frame. Excuse me. We need to have a talk.
I don't have time to talk. I've got to go to school.
Yes, you do have time to talk, young lady. Now come right over here and have a seat. We've got some things that we need to discuss. Your counselor called me the other day and said you got into a fight with another student. Is that correct? Now, Zoe, if you're going, you have got to take this school stuff seriously. You've got to study, you've got to do your homework, and if you're going to be successful like your sister April, you're going to have to buckle down. And there's another thing that we need to discuss. Tell me about what happened here at the house last night.
Nothing happened. We didn't do anything.
All I know is you had a bunch of kids over here last night, and there was a few of my things went missing. I had a favorite antique dish and a picture frame. And they're not to be found anywhere, and probably some family treasure somewhere. And I guarantee they went to go for drug money or something. And another thing, I do not want these kids over here at this house again.
I hate living here. You're always trying to control me. You're ruining my life. I wish I lived with Mom.
Zoe, your mom is not here. I am.
Yeah, but when Mom gets back, I will live with her. And you won't have to worry about me or my friends.
Zoe!
I don't have time. You don't want me to miss school, do you?
I swear this granddaughter, she needs a good switching.
I don't care. I just don't. Maybe I used to care when I was younger, before everything happened. Before Dad ran off and left us, and before Mom got hooked on drugs and made a fool of herself. You know, I saw her once in town getting into a car with this old man. She had this really short skirt on, and she had way too much makeup on. She looked really out of it, too. I don't even think she saw me. And I thought, great, just great. That's my mom. So I just kind of flipped this switch inside my head and pretended like none of it was really happening, so I wouldn't care anymore. So now, when Mama gets all excited, like, Mom's coming back from rehab, and it's going to be different from all the other times Mom's came back from rehab, I don't even listen. Or when somebody asks me about my dad, I'm like, what dad? Who needs a dad? They just run off with somebody else's mom and start taking care of somebody else's kids and forget all about you. Or when Mama gets on me about my room or my grades, or Papa gets on me about my room. And April's telling me that my clothes are too boyish and my makeup's too dark. And my teachers tell me that I need to apply myself. Apply myself? I don't even know what that means. And I don't care. I really don't. I don't care about any of it. I just don't care. I don't care. Oh my gosh, where is the bus already? You know what? I'll just walk.
No, wasn't no such a thing as a school bus back in the day.
People would walk from far and wide. Walk to Boonville from way out in the country, didn't think a thing about it.
And my first car was a 34 Chevrolet, and it had mechanical brakes. Boy, you couldn't stop that thing at all.
My dad had a 52 Chevy.
I had a 1954 Ford, had a lot of chrome. I've always been a Ford man.
Well, I've been driving vehicles since I was 12 years old. Well, I've been driving a tractor since I was 8.
I remember raking the leaves in the yard one day, and I heard a car come up the lane, and it was Virgil in his $45 Lincoln.
Well, I remember when it would get to, how we'd have to ride a boat across Sugar Camp.
Yeah.
When it would flood, the waters would get so high you couldn't get a car or truck across.
You know how the four-way is around the courthouse is one-way streets? Well, it used to not be that way. It used to be just regular roads, 2 directions all the way around. But for some reason, it was causing a lot of accidents. So they changed it. Then, confused people even more, till they got used to it. One day, I came out of Cato's flower shop, and I seen a 3-car pileup.
Look out!
Man, that's a good ride. I'm gonna have to teach you one day how to drive, so you better appreciate it. Oh my gosh.
So, are you gonna come in or
No, I think I'm just gonna sit out here and
sit out here and drink?
No, I said think.
Okay, look, I know you're still mad at Mom, but I've been thinking, if we're ever gonna get out of Mama and Papa's house and be a real family again, we're gonna have to help her do better.
Look, I know you're probably too young to remember, but things were bad. I can remember us being in more than one drug house, watching grown-ups crush up drugs and snort them up their noses right in front of us. And all those late-night drug runs with Mom, I just don't know how she could expose us to that.
I remember stuff too, okay? But look what I've learned from it. I would never do a drug now, because I see what it does to people.
I always thought you might know more than you let on. Go on. I'll be here when you get back.
I know. Thank you.
Hey, Zoe,
Yeah?
tell Mom I love her, okay?
Hi, Melanie. Looks like you're going to be getting out soon. I need to ask you a few questions for a case history file. Is that all right if I record it?
Sure, I guess so.
All right. How'd you get started on drugs?
Well, I've said all of this before. All right, I got hurt at work, and they sent me to the doctor, and he put me on these pain meds. And I was having all of these problems from home and trying to raise the girls on my own, and Carl left me.
There they were, just sitting there in their little brown bottles. Well, first they just helped me get away for a while. But from there, it was just down, down, and down some more.
What made you feel you had to get away?
I told you, I was under all this pressure. Work, and trying to raise the girl, trying to please my folks.
Wasn't there a family member or someone in the community you could go to for help?
I didn't want anyone to know. I didn't want to be judged. But around here, once one person knows, everybody knows anyways. And once you're labeled a drug addict, nobody wants to give you a second chance.
What do you mean by that?
Well, they think it's so easy, like I can just quit like that. It's not like cigarettes or caffeine. Having to say no just 2-3 times a day. I have to say no 30, 40, 50 times a day. And then tomorrow, I have to wake up and say it all over again. But the hardest part is feeling like nobody trusts me anymore. Not my daughters, my family. I think I've already burned those bridges. But repairing them means more to me than anything. And that's what gives me hope when I get out of here.
Well, here's you some hope. You have a visitor.
Hey! Hey, kiddo. This is a surprise. Did you miss me?
Yeah, I guess. Brenda Jo is getting on my nerves.
I can understand that. But now, Zoe, she is your grandmother, and she's helping out right now. And we need her support.
When are you getting out?
Next week, if all goes right.
Then can we move back to your old house?
We're renting that place, Zoe, and it's going to be a while before I'm back on my feet. We're going to need your grandma and grandpa's help, or support. And I don't mean just financially either.
But why?
Zoe, you're old enough to understand that I've had some problems in the past. And it's not too bright of an idea to go right back with the ones that got me in where I was in the first place. Your sister in the car?
Yeah, she said to tell you she loves you. I told her to come in, but she's out there contemplating the universe or something.
Don't be making fun of your sister now, Zoe. She's learning and growing, and so are you. I'm right proud of both of my girls.
Yeah, well, I guess I better go.
Zoe, I love you. And tell April that I love her too. And make sure you tell your grandma and grandpa I hope that they're glad to see me.
Sun comes up, the sun goes down. Work away, work away. We'll clear that acre, stop that plane, gather in the timber, tie the chain. Work away, work away. We'll cut that line, stand that plane, sing a little song and do it all again. Work away, work away. The sun comes up, the sun goes down. Work away, work away. The sun comes up, the sun goes down. Work away, work away. Work away, work away.
What did you do for a living?
I was a school teacher.
I've always been a farmer.
I worked at home, cooking and cleaning and raising a whole big house full of children.
I'm moonlighting.
You moonshined more like it.
Well, I worked with hay and acres.
I worked in the coal mines.
You know, my dad used to work in the coal mines until he hurt his back real bad. It took us 6 years for him to get a check. We about near starved to death. But the neighbors helped us. We did without a lot of things, though.
My daddy worked in the coal mines in Hazard. Well, he'd do just about anything he had to for those companies. Well, he killed himself working in those mines. He got lung cancer, and he died from working around all that coal dust.
I worked in loggings and at the sawmill. I started walking from home before daylight because the job I had started at daylight. When I get there, I'd climb the hills with a horse, pull logs to the sawmill, I worked till dark, made $1 a day.
I worked in a canning factory in Indiana till I got laid off. Then I came back here and been farming ever since.
I had a job at an old bowling alley, and I'd have to crouch down real low, and I'd have to set them pins up.
Well, I'll have to brag on myself here a little bit. I've never been afraid of hard work.
People got to where they don't work a lick.
Won't turn the hand over.
Shoot, they want to strike a leak at White Snake.
Wouldn't even work in a pie factory.
Can't only get nobody to do nothing no more, no how.
Can't hardly get no one to do anything anymore, no way, no how. We're just being negative.
Well, that just goes to show you how bad the situation's got.
Well, people don't even do like they used to do. We had chores to do when we come home every day. People just don't work like they used to.
I know I did. I helped Mom with cooking and cleaning and hauling in firewood. I helped Daddy feed all the animals, chickens, roosters, cows, pigs, horses.
Now, I was raised in a house full of girls. There's 3 of us, but it didn't matter. Daddy worked us just like a bunch of boys. If something needed to be done, he'd holler at us, tell us to get out there and do it. That meant going to the garden, or if it meant from cattle in the morning, or if it meant hauling in wood, it didn't matter. And I can remember growing up on Little Buffalo, and the house we grew up in, it went up real quick, but in the wintertime, it got real cold. And during the wintertime, you know, to stay warm, we'd have to go out and get wood and pack it in. I can remember having to go out in the morning and night and pack wood in just to stay warm.
I remember when me and my sisters, we were helping set tobacco. And I didn't want to help set tobacco. I wanted to go home. So I hollered at Daddy and I said, Daddy, I've got a Charlie horse in my leg. Well, Daddy just ignored me. He knew I was trying to get out of work. After 5 or 6 more plants, I hollered, Daddy, I've got a Charlie horse in my leg. Well, Daddy turned around and he said, Omi, if you've got a Charlie horse in your leg, you ride it right up this backer path.
Oh, I tell you, I was a little boy. We had a farm. I'd have to get up early in the morning, and I'd have to milk the cows. And then we had all kinds of animal stuff, so I'd have to feed the animals and everything. But pretty much did it by myself, because, to be honest, I had a lazy brother. But we had mules. My dad got me out when I was 10 years old working out there with the mules. We had one mule. His name was Jack, and he was the orneriest mule you have ever seen in your life. You'd be out there working, he'd just stop. You'd do anything you could. He wouldn't move until he wanted to move. Suddenly he'd take off. One day he took off, got about a ½ acre of corn on me, and just tore it all to pieces. And you know who got in trouble? But we had one mule. His name was Dave. And I'll tell you, best mule there ever was. You get out there, you didn't have to put a bunch of rain stuff on. You just throw the jerk line up here, and off you go. Perfect furrow. Wood step on the plant. That Dave, he was a good mule.
Oh,
I love the friends I have here.
I love the music of Owsley County. I love that everything's so green.
I love wildflower picking from the last frost of winter till the first frost of fall. I love getting up in the morning and watching the sun come up over the mountain.
I love BP's Pizza.
I love the peacefulness of our small, quiet town.
I love our beautiful scenic views.
I love the hospitality.
I love the hills and the valleys.
I love being a part of the community and working to make it better.
I love hanging out with my best friends every night in the summer.
I love the fresh air and friendly people.
I love it when somebody takes a couple pair of mules and hitches them up to a wagon and do some geeing and hauling.
And I love my home place and the small community.
I love the moon shining over Uncle Charlie's barn.
I love it. We're all like family, even though we're not all family.
I love to go four-wheeling in the mountains in the summertime.
I love playing and singing bluegrass music every Saturday night at the Owsley County Sportsman's Club.
And I love the mountain people of Owsley County.
And I love the big old pot of chicken and dumplings that my granny makes every Sunday morning.
I love that people are down to earth, and for the most part, we don't have a class system.
Kim, what do you love?
I don't know. I like the river. Grandma and Grandpa, they had a huge farm next to the river. And I love to go down there better than I did to eat. Well, maybe not better than I did to eat, but I sure love to go. Sometimes I pretend like I was going fishing, but mainly that was just an excuse so I could get to the river. And I think that's how my dad is too. He likes the woods, he likes to be outdoors, and I think he loves nature, but he won't admit that. He'd think it'd make him sound sissy or something. He thinks that when he goes outside, he has to kill something, that he just can't go. Don't tell him I said that. You know, I can sit by the river all day. Some people may think that's boring, but to me it's not. I mean, the river's always changing. Those browns and greens, you just can't find in a crayon box. Not even the big boxes. And sometimes, when the river's really shallow, you can almost see the bottom of the riverbed. And sometimes, after a big rain, the water's just out of its banks in a big hurry to get somewhere. Maybe up into the Ohio, to the Mississippi, or even out into the ocean if it wanted to. And sometimes, when the sun hits the water just right, it kind of looks like diamonds dancing. Anyways, during the summer, I go and I sit on this huge rock next to the river. And I find myself in a place between a sleep and a lake. And I just imagine back billions of years when this was all covered in water. Every bit of it was just an ocean. And then it lowered and lowered until it carved out the valleys and shaped these mountaintops. And then a few million years later, I can see the Cherokee going down the river in their canoes, shooting arrowheads into the woods. And ages it stays like that. But then it starts changing real fast. Daniel Boone, see, he comes down the river, And then white people follow him, and they hunt, and they camp, and they fish, and then more and more white people come. Some with the same last names as us, Bowman, Gabbard, and they stay on. They build cabins and fences. They cut down the trees and they burn them. They clear the fields. They plow arrowheads, and you don't see the Cherokee at the river anymore. They build churches, and they sing hymns next to the river. And they go to the river for baptisms. And then I can see mules and horses carrying these big logs to the river. And when they get them there, these men, they tie them up and they make rafts. And when the water's high, they'll use these big, long poles. And they'll guide the rafts down to places like Fayetteville and Frankfort to sell them. But then it gets quiet on the river again. Not many people come here to fish anymore. And there's trash everywhere. Pop bottles in the water, plastic bags in the trees, disposable diapers even. Things people wanted and used up and got rid of right here. You know, one time I heard that there's a big swirling island of trash in the ocean that you can even see from space. I bet some of that came down this river too. And I bet you can tell I don't catch many fish. But I do catch some interesting thoughts. And some good naps too.
Washing machine.
Picture frame and dish. Oh, did it get clean? It was a little dusty.
It looks like I owe somebody an apology. You think? Hey Zoe, what you playing?
Well, I saw the Call of Duty Data Legends Resident Evil 5.
I don't know how to play that. You know how to play Red Rover? Oh, let me show you. All right, you get out here, hold on to my hand really tight. All right, now you get out here and you stretch your arm out real tight, and then there's another line over there of kids doing the same thing, and then you yell, Red Rover, send Malcolm on over, and he rushes over. And tries to race through our line, and then he calls someone over, and then keeps going back and forth, and by the time it's finished, your arms are red as fire. Gosh, we used to play all those Red Rover, Tag Your It. Duck, duck, goose.
Duck, duck, goose.
Yeah, you know. Duck, duck, goose. But my favorite was jump rope. I loved to jump rope.
Yeah, you taught me how to jump rope.
I remember that. You get your long legs tangled all up and fall over. And
Yeah.
you got those long grasshopper legs like I do. In fact, that was my nickname when I was a kid. Grasshopper. Because of my long legs.
I bet. Yep.
Let's play jump rope now.
Oh, okay. All right. Cinderella?
Cinderella. I remember that one.
Cinderella, dressed in yellow, went upstairs to kiss her fella. Made a mistake and kissed a snake. How many doctors did it take? 1, 2, 3. I went down to the river to pray, studying about those good old days, and who shall wear the robe and
talking about the way red girl.
Say no.
Here we are again, Cody.
What did you do for entertainment?
Entertainment? Well, now, we made our own entertainment. We just gather up all the kids and families. We'd go in the woods and we'd just play games that all of us could play. Well, we had as much fun, if not more, than what you kids today do. Boy, I remember them dinners on the weekend.
Chicken and dumplings?
Well, pot full of that big.
How about gravy?
Well, naturally.
Well, how about chocolate pies?
We had 2 big tables full of any kind of dessert you wanted.
Stop it, gravy. You're killing me.
Well, Outlaw and his girls, we used to like to get together and play rook. Well, we'd cut up and carry on all night long.
Really?
Yes, we would. We like to play tricks, too. There's this one time Poppy got up to go to the bathroom. While he was gone, we stacked the bed so he'd get one of them shoot at the moon hands, if you know what I mean. Well, Poppy, he came back in and sat down. The girls started bidding. Poppy, he just laughed. He'd say, now there ain't no way Youngie's got any points. Then he'd get mad at us.
Sounds like they were close.
We was a very close family. Poppy passed away. It seemed like we just got too busy doing nothing and drifted apart and just didn't have the time to gather up on weekends like we used to.
It's kind of sad.
It is sad, honey. But now the world has changed and so did our family.
When it would snow, all the people in the neighborhood, we'd meet at the top of the hill. And we'd slide down on any we had to slide on. Sleds, railroad wagons, inner tubes.
And if we didn't have any of that, we put cooking all on the bottom of the chute.
One time, my friend Raymond found the hood off of an old vehicle, and he got on that, and he started down the hill. At the bottom of the hill was a 30-foot drop-off. Well, Raymond took off. Then the rest of us got to talking and sort of forgot about Raymond. Then we remembered, Raymond! 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 Raymond? Raymond?
Woo-wee! I'm gonna do that again!
One time, me and my youngest sister were playing in the creek, and it started pouring the rain. We ran as fast as our little legs could carry us. And when I got to the door of the house, I looked behind me, and my sister wasn't there anymore. So I walked right back through the rain, and I heard her hollering for me, and I looked down, and there she lay covered in mud and chicken feed. And she had fallen right into the pile of chicken food that Daddy had put out that morning. And the chickens were flogging her for getting in their food. I never laughed so hard in my life.
Me and my sister would play the playhouse. We'd take that white glass that we called the ultimate candy lid, and that'd be our dishes. We'd make mud pies and lids, set them in the sun to bake, then turn them out on these white dishes. Then we get a ball comb and a soap,
as high as we could. And if we got mad at somebody, we would just jump off while they were in the air. And they would come crashing down. It was fun, but better than fighting.
When we got older, we'd ride around, drive around, go to drive-ins, fairs, movies. But on Friday and Saturday nights, we'd go to the drive-in. Or me, my sister, and cousin would walk to the theater and watch movies.
Remember the walk-in theater? Sills' Theater, I believe it was called.
I thought it was just the Boomville Theater.
We always called it Maine's. Mame and her husband ran it for more than 30 years.
And they showed a different movie every night. A double feature on Saturday and a matinee every Saturday and Sunday afternoon.
All you needed was 50 cents, a quarter to get in, 10 cents for a pop, and 15 cents for some popcorn.
And they had the best popcorn. Some people went just for the popcorn.
And Coke in those little bottles.
And I'd always go early to trade comic books.
Mame sure took good care of us.
And then, when the kids would start naked, here'd come Mame with that big flashlight, shining it right in their faces. She'd say, "This is a movie house, not a naked house."
I heard that a bunch was raising money to fix the old theater up.
I'd give to that.
Oh, so would I.
It sure would be nice to see some life back in that old place again.
It sure would.
I used to love to go to the stock sale. I'd look forward to that aside. Every Wednesday of the world they had it. Well, about every Wednesday of the world. Over here outside of Buffalo Leroy's. It was sort of a combination stock sale, flea market, and a big howdy-do get-together. People would come and pay money to set up and sell their things. They had about anything you could want. Fruit, vegetables, clothes, dishes, antiques, everything in the world. One time me and Effie went, that would have been 30, 40 years ago now. Effie saw this little pig and said she wanted it. I said, "Now Effie, you know we got no business raising a hog and killing it. We don't have a pen to put it in. Smokehouse is all full of junk." I gave her 5 or 6 good reasons why we ought not to buy that pig. But she said she didn't want to eat it. She wanted to take it home and make a pet out of it. She had seen on television where they said a pig made a good pet. Well, Wall Street, I'll have to say that, not much big about like that, and as wide as, well, but this time we've been married long enough, I knew there wasn't any need arguing with her. I could see how that had turned out. We both just ended up getting mad. I might get some supper, and I might not get any supper. And we'd still end up with a pig. So we got it and took it to the house with us. It took up on the coffee table in the den. Father Effie around. They were that close. But it started eating. Well, eating like a hog. And it got so big that it couldn't get on the coffee table anymore. So Snowball had to be put outside. It lived a long time after that. Made a pretty good pet. Sure did. I miss a heap of things these days. Miss Effie. Miss old Snowball. Miss my younger self. That good dog I used to have, and I missed the stock sale. It was a good chance to get out, see your friends, neighbors, people you went to school with. Catch up on the news or the gossip, whichever one you want to call it. I hear they got it started back up again. I think I'll go there the next time. Might take a night or two to trade. see who all to get up with, see what they got put out to sale. You never know what you pick up at the stop sale.
And besides all that to do, there was always hunting and fishing, playing softball.
One time, my uncle gave me a metal hoop and a metal stick to push it with, like he'd played with when he was a kid. I had all kinds of toys that had come wrapped in plastic, toys that no human hand had touched. When I held that metal stick and I pushed that hoop, I thought about all that my uncle had done for me, making it just right so I could have fun. And I have never forgotten that. Some things you just can't buy.
I don't know, but now, I've been in Owsley County all my life. And we do have problems. We have too many people on drugs, too many of our children not getting the things they need. Now, I'm not turning my head on this or trying to pretend everything's hunky-dory. But you know what gets me? It's these people that look down on us because we're poor, because we live in eastern Kentucky, because we live in the country. Well, they've come up with some kind of thing called, let's see, Quality of Life Index. We're not very high on that. Matter of fact, we're way down at the bottom, along with the ghettos, the Indian reservations, and there are a few communities down around Mississippi. Well, now, I've checked up on this quality of life thing, and what they score points for, well, it's things we don't even have. least not an abundance anyway. All they'll give you 2 points for hospitals, 2 for public transportation, colleges, universities, art galleries, museums, economic diversities. Now, all these things are real good, and I wish we did have more. But you know, these are the things you find in the city, not in little counties like ours. And besides that, I don't think you can judge every place with the same yardstick. Now, I'm thinking, you know, they need to come up with a different quality of life index. Like for places like Owsley County.
When I was little, I used to go to Indian Creek Presbyterian Church. And one year, right before Christmas, they were giving out Christmas bags with candy and fruit and a little toy. And they gave one to me, and I tried to give it back. I told Joe Palace, I said, I don't need this. I've got all kinds of stuff at home. And he looked at me and said, no, this is for you. That's when I learned what Christmas is all about. It's not about the stuff that we're given and the stuff that we have. It's about something that is given like a little apple that is given with heart.
What do you think they give us for each one of our hills? Maybe they give us more points for when they're green in the summer. Or red, yellow, and orange in the fall. Or spotted with the dogwood and the redbud in the springtime. How much for each of our rivers? For each of our creeks and branches that run through our fields and through our memories that sing us to sleep at night. How much quality do you put on being able to walk on the same ground that your mom and dad did? Their mom and dad, theirs, and theirs. How many points can you get for each memory that pops up when you pass a certain place by the road? Or you smell your grandma's piney that she planted, and you see her freckles speckled on your grandchild's nose. And how many points can we get for our neighbors that show up on our doorsteps when someone's sick, hurt, or have lost a loved one? Well, they come in and they just give you a great big hug, leave you a cake or a casserole, and they tell you, if there's anything we can do for you at all, do not hesitate to call. And you know what? They mean that too. Day or night. What kind of points is it worth for the people that we have known all our life? Or for the ones that have known us? And we've watched them grow and grow through their different stages and their fashions, their foolishness, and their failures. And they still love you anyway. I can tell you this much. My yardstick is just not big enough to measure the heart and soul of Owsley County.
Heart. You don't find that everywhere. I've been all over the world, and you don't find that quality of heart anywhere like you do here in these beautiful mountains of eastern Kentucky. Here, we're real people with real problems, but we still smile. And we still laugh. And we live real lives.
Can you put them like this? I think so. Director, yeah, I gotta get them. Oh, it's good to see you. Good to see you.
Hi guys, how are you all?
Hi. Good to see you. Good to see you all. Good to see everyone.
Hi.
Well, the last time we had a meeting, someone suggested we come up with a name for a group. So, someone came up with GRG, Grandparents Raising Grandchildren. Do we have any other ideas?
Well, I suggested TOB for Tired Old Broad.
Oh, that's good. That's pretty good. Yeah.
How about wow? More out winning.
Well, I like HH. You know, you've heard of hillbilly heroin. Well, how about hillbilly heroines? Because that's what we are.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Well, what we'll do, we'll make a list, and we'll vote on it at our next meeting. Does that sound okay?
Yep.
At this time, I'd like to introduce our new member tonight, Brenda Jo.
Hi,
It's
Brenda.
really good to have you here with us, and you know, we're just all in the same boat here, and we're just here to just help one another. Well, how is everybody?
Well, I'll go first. I got the biggest mouth here.
Oh, what's up with you, Wilma?
Well, Roger, he come out of rehab, and so far, he's doing really good. And I say so far because I know how that can change. Been there, I got the scars to prove it.
I know what you mean. When Travis got out of that place in Georgia, he was doing so good. They wanted him to stay and work, and he just did so good. And then he came back here, and within 30 days, he was running with the same old crowd, back on drugs, talking crazy, not taking care of his children.
That's the hardest part for me right now. I raised my children, and I never thought I'd have to raise theirs too. But that's what I'm having to do now, and it's hard.
You know, all the grandparents that are not in their situation, they'll keep you standing at the dollar store for a half hour or so, showing everybody little pictures of all their grandkids and the cute little things they do, and they'll laugh and say, you know, how good it is that they can just send them back home. Well, they think that's funny, but I don't think it's funny. My grandkids have nowhere to go but my house. And I just feel like I'm at the end of my road.
Brenda Jo, you've been awfully quiet. What's going on?
I just really don't want to talk about it.
It's okay. It's okay. That's what we're here for. Let it out.
Well, I was just taught not to air out my dirty laundry.
Honey, you've got to talk about it. The whole family's got to sit down and talk about it.
You might as well. Everybody knows it anyway. You can't keep nothing a secret. And if we can help one another,
Say something, get help. We're all here for you. And people have been there and gone to the other side. They got a life, they got a job, they got off drugs.
Thank you for saying that, Wilma, because that gives me a chance to introduce our speaker for tonight. I've asked her to come here and share her story, and some of you may already know her. Jessica?
Thank you so much for having me tonight. As many of you know, I was a PK, a preacher's kid, and you know what they say about them. When they go wild, they go wilder than anybody. My daddy loved us, or I think he did. He didn't say it very often. He was just really strict. Never let me cut my hair, pierce my ears, wear blue jeans, even when all my friends were doing it. I remember one time, I was about 14, I got to wanting to shave my legs. I didn't think the Apostle Paul had said anything about leg shaving. So that afternoon after school, I locked myself in the bathroom with my daddy's razor. Might have gotten away with it too if I'd done a better job. But I nicked myself in about 10 different places. By the time I got done, I had blood and hair everywhere. Looked like he killed a hog in there. My daddy, he whooped me pretty good that time. Called me all kinds of names. Names I can't even repeat. Except for Jezebel. Guess I can say it, Jezebel. Well, that whooping, it was a turning point for me. So I laid there in the bathroom, with my backside a burning. I thought, you think I'm bad now? You ain't seen nothing yet. Used to be around here when teenagers rebelled. They'd smoke a cigarette, slip on down to the local bootleggers, slip them a $5 bill and get a little whiskey. Honey, by the time it was my turn to rebel, you could get drugs a whole lot easier than whiskey. Why, anything. I ain't talking about just pot either. I'm talking about coke, crank, meth. Why, anything you could find in the roughest, toughest parts of the United States, we had it right here. I'm ashamed to admit it now. But when I got tough, I was tough. Didn't care about anybody. Not my kids, my family. Didn't even care about myself. I was one of those people that had to hit rock bottom. And I hit it too. Hit it pretty hard. I lost my family, my children, my home. Had people threatening to kill me. In and out of jail, in and out of rehab. But when it came right down to it, choose, change or die, I chose change. It was hard. Hardest thing I've ever done. Took a lot of hard work and a lot of help. But now I've got my life back together and I'm ever so grateful. Now don't get me wrong. I still get mad, sad, aggravated, and there's always too much month at the end of the money. People, they still look at me like I'm some kind of a monster. Boo. Daddy, he always talked about being born again. He might not think that term applies to me, but that's how I feel. I feel like I'm born again.
Good job. It's the love of money that's a lot of our trouble, I believe. A lot of people will say that they sell drugs to make money, that they need that to survive. But there's other ways to survive. You don't have to have everything going. If you can't afford a big screen TV, why, watch the old kind, or read a book, or get some kind of social life. You know, if it came right down to it and I had to start scrubbing on the washboard again, I could do that. Or if I had to cook on a wood stove, I could do that. Or if I had to raise my own food and can, which I do now, I could do that. You just can't depend on all these modern conveniences. But this is how I was raised. And we may have to go back to that. We might be better off if we did. Lately I don't even hardly want to go out. Half the world's to me, the other half's to devour. I tell you now I'm ready to pack up and leave. I need away from traffic, need to believe. We've gotten too far away from the given land. Sometimes you've got to make your own kind of stand. I want to eat from my own fields, wade in the creek. I need a beach grove where I can lay and think. Up on Sexton's Creek, folks really got it made. Twilight on Sexton's Creek, whippoorwills serenade. I wanna live up on Sexton's Creek when the evening turns blue. Wanna live on Sexton's Creek with you. All the little houses with their gardens of green.
really got it made. Twilight on Sexton's Creek, whippoorwill serenade. I wanna live up on Sexton's Creek when the evening turns blue. Wanna live on Sexton's Creek with you.
Wanna live on Sexton's Creek till the day I die. Till this old modern world I say goodbye. If we don't have it, we'll make it, or we'll do without. Our entertainment is red buds blooming out. Going to Sexton Creek where the days are long. If we need something new, we'll write a song. Enough is good enough is what my mother said. We'll live on loving warmth and cornbread up on Sexton's Creek. Folks really got it made. Twilight on Sexton's Creek, whippoorwill serenade. I wanna live up on Sexton's Creek when the evening turns blue. Wanna live on Sexton's Creek with you. I wanna live up on Sexton's Creek when the evening turns blue. Gonna live on Sexton's Creek with you.
I used to love Sunday school when I was a kid, and our Sunday school teacher, Miss Markham, was real nice. I loved all those stories and verses, like Jonah and the well. I've always liked wells for some reason. And Joseph, with his coat of many colors. Or, what's that Dolly Parton? I get those two mixed up. And whenever someone was trying to keep the kids from Jesus, that he said to suffer the little children come unto him, or something like that. I used to memorize a lot of verses to impress my Sunday school teacher and to show everybody just how smart I was. Oh, and I always wanted sword drill too. That's whenever all of us kids at Vacation Bible School would stand with our Bibles at ready, and the preacher would yell out something like Deuteronomy 6:19, and all of us kids would scramble through our Bibles trying to find the verse, and the one who found it first would step forward and say it. And the winner got some sort of prize, which, if I can remember, was another Bible. Whenever we got older, we kind of stopped going for some reason. I forget exactly why. Maybe because Mom and Dad were fighting all the time and things were starting to fall apart. But I still remember a lot of those stories and verses. I said something to Papa the other night, and his face got real hard and tight. And I asked him, why can't you forgive her? It's Mom. I should explain. We've been through this before. She's been to rehab 4, maybe 5 times. But more than 3, less than 10, somewhere in there. But I said, Papa, it's Mom. I know you can give her another chance. And he said that he didn't know if he could forgive her or not, because he's forgiven her so many times already. Well, this reminded me of this time in Sunday school, whenever Miss Markham was telling us that Jesus said that we had to forgive 70 times 7 times. And Jimmy Baker, who was a smart aleck, said 70 times 7 equals 490, so we only have to forgive 490 times. Miss Markham very patiently explained that Jesus wasn't giving us a multiplication problem. She was telling us more like, don't keep track, just keep on forgiving. I kept that to myself because I didn't think Papa wanted me to preach him a little sermon just then. But I did say, Papa, how many times did you try to quit smoking before you finally did? How many times did Aunt Norma go to Weight Watchers? How many times have you tried to control your temper and couldn't? Well, Mom's trying to do something a whole lot harder than that. You didn't agree, but he didn't disagree either. He just went into the kitchen, got us both a pop, and came back and turned on the TV. I'll think of that as progress for the both of us. A little bit of progress anyway. April? Yes, Granny? Zoe? Sophie? Drew? What about Kip? He's part of the family. Come on, Kip.
Great. So first we weren't supposed to talk about it, but now we're supposed to talk about it? I don't think it works that way, Mama.
It might work if we actually tried.
Well, now they told us in the committee that you've got to talk about it. So, what we need to do is everybody just take turns and just say how you feel about Melody coming home.
And no interrupting.
And no eye rolling.
And Drew, no storming out of this room. Okay.
Okay, I'll go first. I love Mom. And I'm going to try to be understanding and forgiving, but I can't say I'm looking forward to her coming home. We said no eye rolling.
Sorry.
Anyway. So, I feel like I'm doing good. I'm getting good grades, I'm liking school, and I feel like I finally have something good to do with my life. And then year's gonna come on again, and it's just gonna be one more big disappointment, I'm afraid. But I'm willing to give her another chance. But Papa, I'm afraid you won't. You've been holding her for a long time now.
And Drew, she's right. You have been. And that hurts her.
Well, y'all double teaming me here now? I'll give her a chance, and another chance, and another chance, whatever it takes, as long as she's trying. But now, Brenda Joe, you got to quit pressuring her. You've expected her to be perfect. You've expected us to be perfect. And we're not.
Oh, don't you go jumping onto me like that. I'm the one that's been holding this family together. None of you knows and none of you appreciate.
I knew this wasn't going to work.
Well, that went great. Before we all give up, can I just say something, please?
Yeah, sure, I'll do.
Look, I've been as mad at Mom as any of you. Mad. I even tried to pretend like I didn't care, as if that fooled anybody. But what chance has Mom got if we make her feel like she's awful? It's going to be hard enough as it is. She's sick. It's an addiction. Hello?
Don't even act like that.
Guys, listen. Now, I know I'm not part of the family yet, but can I say something? Okay. I feel like we all want the same thing. When Melody comes home, we want to love her again and help her get back on her feet. But we all have the same problem. We're afraid that somebody else in the family doesn't want to do that.
I'd start hoeing at one end of a long row and Herbert would start at the other. We'd meet in the middle. When our hoes clanged together, we knew we'd finished that whole row. Somehow it didn't seem so hard when we knew we didn't have to do the whole long thing all by ourselves.
The other day at Shopwise. We were best friends in high school. I remember that we would tell her mom that she was coming to my house to study. Then we'd tell her mom that we was going to her house to study. Well, all we'd do is we'd end up at Spencer's Dairy Bar, and we would drive around Boonville about 15, 20 times, and all we were doing was checking out the guys. Me and April stayed in touch, though. We went our different ways, but we wrote letters. People do not write letters like they used to. We'd meet up every now and then, but we finally ended up settling down, and we got married, and we had children, and had families, and got a little gray around the edges, a little plump in the middle, plump on the sides. But you know what? I love April, and I think she loves me too. And it's like this every time I have a conversation with a friend. How are you doing? Oh, I'm fine. You, how are you doing? Doing great. How's the family? Oh, they're doing pretty good. Yeah, oh, well, I'm happy to hear that. Well, I'm so sad to hear that. That's just awful. Yeah, we should get together. I know, just busy, 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 and go, go, go. You know, I was telling somebody the other day that we ought to get together. Yeah. But you know what? As sure as we're standing here, we won't get together, and I don't know why. People just don't visit like they used to. And it's the same thing with family. The only time family gets together is at a funeral. Honey, I know it's good to see you too. Yeah, they're not suffering. They look good, and there's no more pain. Yeah, that's sad. Yeah, we still live at the old home place. Yeah. You know what? I was telling somebody the other day that we ought to get together. And you know what? As sure as we're standing here saying we're going to get together, we don't. Because people don't visit like they used to. And you know what? They don't. Our grandparents and our great-grandparents used to rub these hillsides. They used to cut their own wood for their log homes. They used to work these hillsides, work the fields, grow their own food, draw up water, dig coal, feed the family, sew. And you know what? They had time to visit. They took time to visit. Another thing I can't figure out, how are we going to solve the problems of this family when nobody's communicating? Nobody's even talking. How are we going to solve the problems of the community when nobody's working together? We're like little turtles. We got our little feet tucked in. We got our heads tucked in. Just can barely see over. It's like we're all zoned out on booze and pills and beer, banana pudding. And you know what? These little screens, it's all like we're all zoned out on these little screens. Like this is real and this is not. We've got to work together. I've come to the conclusion that we've got to work together as a real family. We've got to work together as a real community in order for us to survive. We've got to come out of our little turtles. We've got to stick our little legs out. We've got to get our heads out. And you know where we've got them stuck.
Open wide at the close of life's long weary day. I'll meet
rapture, old acquaintance renewed. You'll know me in the morning by the smile that I wear. And I'll meet you in the morning in the city that is built for square. I'll meet you in the morning in the sweet by and by, and exchange the old cross for a crown. There will be no disappointments, and nobody shall die in the land where love's sun goeth down. I'll meet you in the morning with a how do you do, and we'll sit down by the river, and the rapture, old acquaintance renewed. You'll know me in the morning by the smile that I wear. I'll meet you in the morning in the city that is built for square. And the city that is built for square.
My mom and dad were born and raised right here in Owsley County. They moved up to Middletown, Ohio for a while, where Dad was working. But he developed this really dangerous type food. So they ended up moving right back here, and he was a David the rest of his life. I was born in Oneida, raised first in Ricetown on Indian Creek, then went to the big Fish Trap Hill right here in Google. We were a very poor family. We had a 4-room house, with coal stove, no running water, and an outhouse. My mom and dad worked for the landlord, raising his cattle to take care of our rent, so we didn't lose our house. And they also worked for the neighbor in the sugar cane. And he paid them gallons of jugs of sugar cane, of molasses. Now us kids thought that was a whole lot better than money. Me, my brothers and sisters, would go outside and play in the hillsides and the creeks. We didn't have any toys, we just played outside. I think my fondest memory is with my brothers and sisters catching crawdads and minnows from time to time. And every Wednesday night, making chocolate fudge with Pa and Ma. One year Halloween, we all dressed up in our homemade costumes, walked down Fish Trap Hill, all the way to the Grand City Louisville to go trick-or-treating. And we had to walk back up again. The night was warm, the moon was shining. You know, that's a fun time I never forget. On Sundays, after church, we go to Cow Creek Churchyard and play baseball. And every Sunday, my great-grandparents would cook a meal for the whole community. Everybody come and gather in Granny and Pa's yard. Granny would make a pie for each and every family that came here to take home with them. Oh, I remember how good that house smelled when those pies were making. we had a very poor upbringing. We didn't have those nitpicky treats the kids have nowadays and snacks. No. We didn't go out and eat in restaurants. No. We didn't have those luxuries that everybody has nowadays. But nope. Life wasn't so hard. If I could go back and change then for now, I'd go back. I'd go back to then. You know, it'd take a whole big major thing to make me move away from here. But this is my home. This is where I was raised. And there's just too many memories to leave behind.
What do you remember?
I remember when I was real little and it used to get really cold. And we'd have to go outside and get firewood right when it started to come snow.
I finally started an orange tree from seed. Without praying the big instruments, small oranges.
I remember looking down on the ground, and there she lay, covered in mud and chicken feed.
I remember having to drive a boat across Sugar Camp. It would get so high when the waters would flood that you couldn't even get a car trapped across.
I remember when Doc and I were going to get married, his brother was going to get married too. So they took a bet to see who'd get married first. Well,
I remember growing up in a box house on Lower Buffalo.
I remember Mom and Dad raised the garden every year, and Dad would put us on the mule and we would ride him as he plowed.
I remember the world changed and so did the family.
I remember raking leaves in the yard one day, and I seen a car come up the lane, and it was Virgil in his $45.49 Lincoln.
I remember one time when we used to live next to a preacher and he broke into my car and stole my favorite gun.
I remember gin and hawing.
I remember working in a canning factory in Indiana. I was friends with Samuel Easton. He owned the first farm in Owsley County.
the times were hard, but we got through it.
I was the 8th of 14 children.
I had an old coon dog named Mickey. Come out of here from Texas.
My brother could carve fish out of wood. He could draw fish. He could draw fish out of animals. Just like
All scattered now, here, there, and yonder.
This is my home place.
Heart.
I always was a Kentucky girl.
This is where I call home, and this is where I'll end my life.
Most Owsley Countyans don't let them get things down.
We are a proud people.
There is hope.
I'm a true Owsley County native, and I always will be.
We are proud to call Owsley County home.
Cliff?
Brown Range.
I bought our farm on Fish Creek and we moved Thanksgiving Day.
Groundhog Holler.
We lived on Indian Creek.
You can see the South Fork from my back porch.
I am proud to call Owsley County my home.
Let's make our own movies. Let's make our own plans. Let's help one another. Here, take my hand. Let's take care of these forests, these hillsides and streams. Take care. Let's tell them our dreams.
I'm from Wheat Rose. I'm from Rocky Fork.
Mistletoe.
Mudlick. Needmore.
I was born in Owsley, we moved away, and then we moved back.
Pigpen Branch.
Pleasant.
Polecat Holler.
From the pioneers who come into these hills and valleys to make a new life.
I'm for people who can live on a rocky patch of mountain soil, feed themselves and their family with nothing more but a hoe, a little hard work, and lots of hope.
I'm from Rattlesnake Creek. Schoolhouse Branch. Sugar Camp.
Sturgeon.
Scoville.
Stay.
I'm from all the stories that fly around in this place like lightning bugs on July night.
I'm from Toenail Holler.
Turkey Knob.
Bathurst Ranch.
Wild Dog Creek.
I'm from out there, Hoopalera. I'm an Owsley County native and I always will be.
This is where I call home and this is where I'll end my life.
Tell me a story.